Namaskar. Warm greetings from Sri Balaji Vidyapith, popularly referred to as SBV. I am delighted to meet you all once again through Channel 1. I thank you for your continuous support in this endeavor. Today's topic is at the forefront amongst the advancements in the field of medicine. That is organ transplantation. The pattern of disease has been witnessing gross changes since the last few decades. Chronic non-communicable diseases account for a higher morbidity and mortality in comparison to communicable diseases. Morbidity refers to the state of being unhealthy or diseased. Non-communicable diseases are the most common causes of organ failure all over the world. Transplantation is the most effective form of replacement treatment, provided a suitable donor organ is available and the patient is fit enough to undergo the procedure. Organ transplantation is one of the greatest medical marvels and the most remarkable medical success stories of the 21st century. Organ transplantation has saved the lives of many critically ill patients globally. With medical advancements, it is now possible to transplant organs such as the kidneys, heart, lungs, liver, and pancreas. Other tissues, namely skin, bone, cartilage, veins, arteries, heart valves can also be transplanted. There are two types of transplant donors. Life related, an organ that comes from blood related donors such as parents, siblings, brother or sister, and their son, daughter over 18 years of age. The life related donor have always been a better option than a deceased donor. A deceased donor transplant, earlier called a cadaveric donor, is where the donated organ comes from a person who is dead. Deceased organ donation can be after brain death or after cardiac death. The majority of the deceased organ transplants in India are through donations following brain death. In our country, and based on recent estimates, there are 2.5 million patients with kidney failure, 8 to 10 million patients with heart failure, 1 million patients with chronic lung disease, and around 10 million patients with chronic liver disease requiring organ transplantations. Approximately 7,500 kidneys, 2,000 livers, 240 hearts, 190 lungs, and 25 pancreases have been transplanted in our country in the year 2018. The disparity between the huge demand for the organs and their poor supply is a major bottleneck that interferes with successful transplantation program. To make all these transplants possible and in order to alleviate the sufferings of such patients, the Government of India in the year 1994 passed an act called Transplantation of Human Organs Act. The act broadens the concept of organ donation to include other organs besides the eyes. The act also clearly defines brain death. The act has created a new horizon in the field of organ transplantation in our country. Further, the amendments in the year 2011 allow the provision of required request made available to the intensive care doctors to seek organ donation in the event of brain death. The key to the success of the transplantation program is early identification, followed by certification and maintenance of a comprehensive list of potential donors in the intensive care units. Now, I invite the members of the transplant team, Dr. Hemachandar, Associate Professor, Department of Nephrology, Mahatma Gandhi Medical College Research Institute, and Dr. Musaddiq, Professor and Head, Department of Urology, MGMCRI, to elaborate further on the transplantation program at MGMCRI SBV.
I am Dr. Hemachandar, Associate Professor, Department of Nephrology, MGMCRI, Pondicherry. Organ transplantation is essentially a teamwork. At MGMCRI, we have a dedicated team of urologist, nephrologist, anesthetist, nursing staff, and operation theatre staff. We have a well-equipped two-bedded renal transplant ICU with dialysis facility and state-of-art high-efficiency particulate air filter. We offer these services at the second floor of MGMCRI Hospital, a constituent unit of Sri Balaji Vidyapeeth. Furthermore, we have two twin operation theatre facilities housed in the second floor OT complex that caters to the surgical needs of both the donor and recipient simultaneously. See, chronic kidney disease is the 12th most common cause of death and the 17th most common cause of disability around the world. It is estimated that globally, chronic kidney disease is associated with approximately 735,000 deaths annually. Different modalities exist for renal replacement therapy, such as hemodialysis, peritoneal dialysis, and kidney transplantation. However, kidney transplantation remains a treatment of choice for most end-stage renal disease patients. Kidney transplantation is the transplant of one kidney into patient with end-stage kidney disease regardless of the primary etiology. Kidney transplantation is typically classified as deceased donor or living donor transplantation depending on the source of organ donor. Successful kidney transplantation offers the best survival, the best quality of life, and the most cost-effective treatment for most patients with end-stage kidney disease. Despite these advantages, renal transplantation rates in the developing world are comparatively lower to the developed world. Currently, approximately 7,500 kidney transplantations are performed at 250 kidney transplant centers in India. Of these, 90% come from living donors and 10% from deceased donors. The majority of renal transplant patients are on dialysis, either hemodialysis or peritoneal dialysis at the time of transplantation. However, individuals with chronic kidney disease who have a living donor available may undergo preemptive transplantation before dialysis is needed. Ideally, a kidney transplant should be preemptive, that is, should take place prior to the start of dialysis. In general, both the donor and recipient should be blood group compatible and also human leukocyte antigen, that is HLA cross-match compatible. If a potential living donor is incompatible with the recipient, the donor could be exchanged for a compatible kidney. Kidney exchange, also known as kidney pad donation, has recently gained popularity in such scenario. In an effort to reduce the risk of rejection during incompatible transplantation, ABO incompatible and HLA incompatible transplantation utilizing desensitization protocols have been developed with the aim to reduce ABO and HLA antibodies that the recipient may have to the donor.
Good morning. It is a great pleasure to join in this distinguished interaction. And at the outset, I'd like to thank our Vice Chancellor and the entire team for this wonderful program. In almost all cases, the existing failed kidneys are not removed. The graft kidney is usually placed in a location different from the original kidney. Often, this is in the iliac fossa, so it is often necessary to use a different blood supply. The renal artery of the new kidney, previously branching from the abdominal aorta, the donor, is often connected to the external or internal iliac artery in the recipient. The renal vein of the new kidney, previously draining to inferior vena cava in the donor, is often connected to the external iliac or internal iliac vein in the recipient. The donor ureter is linked to or joined with the recipient bladder.
Immunosuppressant drugs are used to suppress the immune system from rejecting the donor kidney. These medicines must be taken for the rest of the recipient's life. The average lifetime of a kidney from a deceased donor is 12 years and 16 years for a kidney from a living donor. The expected duration of hospital stay for a donor is around 7 days and 10 to 14 days for a recipient. Staying true to the motive of SBV to serve the needy, we have tried to minimize the expenses for a patient undergoing renal transplantation in our hospital. The expense of live renal transplant surgery in our hospital is 2 lakhs compared to 6 to 7 lakhs in a corporate hospital. Further, we have applied for Tamil Nadu government scheme for renal transplant surgery. Once approved, we will be able to provide the treatment free of cost to the needy patients. Thank you.
We are proud to announce that we have performed our first kidney transplantation on 4th December 2020 for a male of 33 years and his wife being the donor. Both the donor and recipient are healthy with normal functioning transplanted kidneys following the successful procedure. My hearty congratulations to the transplant team for accomplishing this tremendous feat and wish them the best to continue serving the needy and the underprivileged with this life-saving procedure in the upcoming days. The transplant unit in MGMCRI of our university is in process of streamlining the deceased donor organ procedure. We expect to start deceased donor transplantation in a couple of months and are in the process of obtaining permission from the appropriate authority for liver, lung and heart transplantations. The main roadblock for a successful transplantation program is the limitation in the availability of organs. The universal donor card is the first step in this regard, and your signing this card can save many lives. This universal card expresses one's desire to donate any or all organs. An organ transplant program needs determination on the part of all those involved in making such programs successful. The responsibility rests on the society as well as the medical fraternity.
Research and innovation are the basic tenets in any progressive higher educational institution. Holding true to it, SBE has been promoting evidence-based research and innovations in patient care and medical education. The year 2021 has unfurled itself on a positive and encouraging note. SBE is delighted in congratulating Professor Tinker, Director of Medical Simulation Center at SBV, who has been bestowed with the prestigious fellowship by the Society for Simulation in Healthcare in USA in January 2021. He is one of the 91 individuals worldwide to have been awarded this distinction. On a further note, he is the only Indian to receive this honor. Dr. Paul had been spearheading the Medical Simulation Center at SBV, which is an international training center recognized by American Heart Association. This is an instance in the myriad of activities in research and innovation at SBV. Leading SBV from the front, the Honorable Vice Chancellor of SBV, Professor S.C. Parija, has figured in the top 2% of scientists globally for his contribution in the field of tropical medicine. This ranking was provided by the study conducted by Stanford University, USA. The environment in SBV is thus highly conducive for research and innovation, leading to such accolades.
I wish you the best of health. Do remember to continue practicing physical distancing, wearing masks and personal hygiene. Stay safe. God bless you. Jai Hind.